Hello, my name is Camilo Gordillo. I'm a research engineer at SEED, and the purpose of this talk is to present some of our work and progress towards augmenting automated game testing using deep reinforcement learning. I think it is fair to say that games have grown and are likely to keep growing, both in size and lifetime, to an extent where we have reached the limit to what is possible to efficiently and reliably test using human testers. A colleague at DICE gave a presentation last year at TC where he described the amount of effort and man-hours that goes into testing all combinations of maps and modes in Battlefield 5. I would recommend you to watch this presentation in case you want to know more about how is scripted AI currently used to alleviate some of these issues. For this reason, automating the testing process has become a major objective, and although scripted AI has really helped us to optimize this process, it presents some important drawbacks which we will discuss in the following slides. I want to emphasize that the purpose of our research is not to replace scripted AI and classical methods, but to rather to complement those techniques using machine learning. Many of you may already be familiar with RL, or at least with the basic principle. The idea is to train a behavior policy, an agent, to perform a particular task within an environment. The agent will interact with such environment through actions and will collect both observations, representing the game state, and a reward signal, which communicates to the agent how good or bad its actions have been. By continuously interacting with the environment, these RL agents can eventually learn very complex policies, to the point that state-of-the-art algorithms have managed to master complex games like Dota or StarCraft. Reinforcement learning presents a couple of advantages with respect to classical scripted AI, especially when it comes to testing. Because RL learns directly from interactions, it can adapt to the environment and it can be trained to execute complex behaviors, the kind of behaviors which would be hard and tedious to script. Moreover, very often you may introduce new changes to the game which may render your scripted logic obsolete. RL, on the contrary, can be retrained or fine-tuned with minimal to no changes to the general setup. Both approaches are also scalable, which is clearly an important requirement. Lastly, RL policies are not predictable. It is hard to predict beforehand what an agent will do and how it will do it. There have been many occasions where RL agents end up exploiting some particular, sometimes even unknown mechanic in a game for the sake of maximizing the reward signal. In hide and seek, for example, a recent work from OpenAI, the agents learned to exploit an unknown mechanic in the game physics, which allowed them to surf over objects. This ability of RL of finding exploits and unknown unintended mechanics is a positive feature which we argue could be used to improve the way we test video games. To display how RL could be used for testing and the type of data which could be collected while training these agents, we created a set of sandbox environments in Unity. These are all relatively small scenarios, but of course, you could have hundreds of agents focusing on exploring and testing different areas of your maps. We also introduced some artificial bugs and exploits so that we can evaluate the use of RL. The task in all these scenarios is for the RL agents to navigate to a set of targets represented by the orange spheres in these images. The figure shows the layout of the first two scenarios. In the exploit sandbox, we introduced the blue wall lacking a collision box. This issue creates a shortcut between the initial position of the agent and some of the targets. The second scenario, named Stack Player, adds the purple sticky area to the same map. These are areas where the agent will freeze when in contact, thus simulating points in the map where players could get stuck. The second two scenarios represent more complex navigation challenges where we introduce a climbable wall and, in the case of the dynamic navigation one, moving platforms. These scenarios were designed to analyze the exploration capability of RL and the state coverage during training. We compare the performance of different RL algorithms against each other and a baseline collected from a casual human player. All these agents were trained in a distributed fashion with 4 machines collecting samples and one centralized server training the models using a single GPU. You can find further details about the setup and the observation space in our paper, but to briefly summarize, we ended up using PPO or Proximal Policy Optimization for the remaining experiments. It took about 12 hours for us to train each of the algorithms in the dynamic navigation scenario, which is likely the most challenging of the sandboxes. Over here, we also have some additional results that we were not able to include in the paper due to size constraints. We have a more complex navigation scenario, and you can see the behavior of one of the final agents. At the end of the video, you can also see that the agent has discovered some way of climbing the orange walls, even though that wasn't supposed to be possible. And it is not something that we introduce intentionally. To the left, we also have some of the algorithm's hyperparameters. Moving back to the sandbox scenarios, here we have a comparison between the results obtained from a scripted AI and an RL agent in the exploit scenario. Please remember that the blue wall lacks a collision box and it therefore creates a shortcut between the bottom and the top of the figure. We would like, of course, to identify and fix that issue during testing. The figures to the right show a couple of heat maps displaying both the trajectories followed by a scripted AI and those followed by an RL agent during training. The scripted AI relies, as it is normally the case, on a navigation mesh. This navigation mesh is to rarely cover the whole map and therefore bias or constrain the amount of exploration that a scripted AI could perform. The figure in the middle shows that this is precisely the case in this experiment. The navigation mesh guides the agents along the shortest paths and it limits exploration. The RL agents, on the contrary, explore much better the whole scenario, as it is shown in the heat map to the right. We can use these heat maps together with other metrics to identify if the agents were able to reach areas in the map which shouldn't be reachable. In this case, for example, the location of the blue wall. We can also wait for the RL agents to be trained and then collect the same kind of data and generate the same kind of heat maps. As shown to the right, the agents have learned to exploit the presence of the shortcut when navigating between targets. Analyzing this data will then help game designers to identify and fix possible issues. If we try to use the same heat map visualizations in the stack player sandbox, however, we won't really be able to distinguish the presence of the sticky areas. These sticky areas, as I said, are places where the agents will be unable to move any further. The agents in our setup are not penalized for getting stuck, and therefore they will enter the sticky areas from different directions and angles. In this case, we had to analyze the positions in the heat map where the agents would time out. So each training episode has a maximum length and it resets every time the agents run out of time. We can then visualize this data with respect to the position of the sticky areas. From visual inspection, all 5 areas could be identified, and we could, of course, further work on metrics and statistics to allow us to automatically filter and recognize these situations. Finally, we also analyze the performance of the agents in more complex navigation challenges, like the one shown in a previous video. The purpose of these experiments was twofold. First, to verify if the agents can solve the different navigation challenges and reach all the different targets. And second, to analyze and study how the data we collect from these agents evolves as the agents get better. During testing, adequate coverage and exploration is important to successfully evaluate server loads, graphical issues, and possible performance bottlenecks. These 2 heat maps allow us to see the transition between exploration and exploitation. To the right, it is starting to become clear that the agents have learned which trajectory should be followed to reach each of the targets. There are a couple of things we would like to explore a bit further. First, unlike human players, scripted and RL agents are unable to tell us if something went wrong. It is therefore necessary for us to collect and keep track of meaningful metrics and to be able to visualize all that data in a proper manner. We also want to explore the use of a hybrid solution employing classical methods and RL modules to solve different parts of the problem. This could potentially give us both the interpretability of scripted agents and the adaptability of RL. Finally, many games require a certain degree of cooperation or coordination between agents, so exploring multi-agent techniques or hierarchical setups could help us approaching those scenarios. I thank you all for your attention and I hope you have a nice day. Goodbye.